지금 다운로드 받으세요.
Well, over the next months and stuff, I expect to see Impact rising up, doing better and better. Because this kid is seriously going to be one of our top 3 servers in the world. I am saying it right now.
He's looking really good. I mean, just the way he moves his army and the things that you can tell he's thinking about during the game, the ways that he tries to come back, that's the stuff you would see from the champions, right?
Yeah.
Out of Dark, out of Life, out of all these great, fantastic Zergs from the past.
Very excited about him still, but this group is getting very figured out very quickly. Now, ByuN versus Deer, another very important match coming up. ByuN looking to go up to 4-0, right?
Yeah, if he can win this one, he'll go up to 4-0, and he already has 2 away wins. This will be his home map, though. He did pick Invader up against Deer.
Yeah, that definitely can be a tough map for Protoss versus Terran. I kind of am expecting Deer to do something highly aggressive, maybe a depth play or a blink all-in, or at least a Stargate opening.
And that's the cool thing about Deer. He'll show a game like that last one where he goes full-on macro and just owns you, or he can just kill you in the early stages of the game. Let's see what he wants to do here. Game number 12. Here we are on Invader. Going to be the first time of tonight. And down here in the bottom right in the red, it is ByuN. Not on the team right now. This is very important for him to get through. And down here in the bottom left in the blue, it is Deer.
When you word it like that, especially, it kind of strikes home where it's I really kind of do hope ByuN makes it through this group, because at least these other guys have chances. If they're good enough, even if they don't make it tonight, they get to play Pro League.
Yeah.
Whereas ByuN, it's oh God, I mean, you're just going to have to, do what you always do, which is play cups.
You play cups, you play ladder, you practice with your friends that you've made over the years, and that's about it. You're going to be doing that for, 6-7 months? Just hanging on, right?
Could be. I mean, I'm crossing my fingers, hoping a Kespa Cup comes up, something like that.
Yeah, and
I think it's likely.
And Kespa Cup is interesting because I think it's usually only 16 players that make it through. So is ByuN in that 16?
Could be. I mean,
maybe he's number 16. If he keeps playing like this, maybe he's a little bit,
sure, yeah,
better than that. But as of now, in my mind, he's maybe he's number 16. But we'll see.
I don't know where I rank him. Actually, I should sit down and try to figure out where I rank everyone.
Everyone?
Well, top 16 or 32 or something. What is my ideal code S? A question like that.
What's the difference between? Oh God, I can't even think of some players here that are not doing that well.
Yeah,
Departure and Forte. Who's better?
That's a really good question, actually. I gotta say, I kind of prefer Forte right now, just by a little tiny bit. The thing is, you got to give props to Departure, because Zerg is having a little bit of a hard time, but
it's true.
And
it's true.
Departure, earlier this year, January and stuff, he was looking really strong in Pro League. Some great games, but
he was showing up,
and he made it into Code S. He just beat Armani last night when it looked like he was dead. So good for him.
ZVZ there, able to make it through. Armani, though, not the hardest opponent, I have to be honest. But
dude, in the first 2 games, Armani looked godlike and then looked terrible for the last 3 games. It was so... I was oh my God, Armani's the new Zerg Bonejoy, and then it's dead. And I'm oh no.
It's the trust effect, right?
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't have all that much experience doing really well, even though they may have a lot of experience winning games, or, just playing games, I should say. Maybe they don't have experience doing that well and getting ahead and being in that spot, because,
I think that...
you fall apart that. It's very...
I think a lot of it comes down... I've been reading a lot of, sports psychology books and stuff now, and something keeps coming up, cognitive dissonance, where your self-image in your head doesn't line up with how you're performing, and thus you start to underperform. And this is definitely... I've seen this before in players, and it's your brain is trying to line you up with how it sees you, right? So it's when these players start wrecking, they're wow, I've been playing one of the best Zergs in the world, and they just fall apart. I think that might have a big something to do with it. Anyways, it's a
It makes
Stargate
lot of
opening.
sense. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And he's made 2 oracles, and he's only made 1. Sorry.
Yeah, he's going into Phoenix though.
Yeah. And we do have this drop coming in here, but if you want to drop 1 Marine at a time underneath an Oracle, good luck to you, man, because that's not going to work unless you've got some units to spare. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, probably not. That'd be a pretty sick throw. Well, we do have him trying to get something done here. The Phoenix and Oracle chasing down that medevac. Some Hellions hitting the front. I'm not surprised that Deer is trying to build like this. Like, the drops are just so strong here. Phoenixes are going to be really clutch. And I love that he's keeping the Oracle at home. Like, he's just ready to tag things and kill things. He's like, well, I'm not going to get damage done with this. This is so obvious.
He didn't even send it across the map.
Yeah.
He rallied it into his main.
Yeah.
That's how sure he was, you know? And generally when that happens, that speaks to me a lot about, you know, how much a player has practiced on a certain map against a certain race, because they just know these things. They don't say, I made an Oracle. Oracle 97% of the time it's out there to go to your opponent's base and do damage, right? This is the 3% of the time where you're like, oh, I just need this for defense.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. I don't even remember ever seeing this happen now that you mentioned that, but like, and I don't remember ever seeing a Protoss like play on this map, because this is this map is like, oh god, this is hell against both Terran and Zerg. But
look at the third base.
Yeah,
Deer is taking right now.
Look at how far away that is. Wow.
Just look at it. Just
it's like
take that in. Let that sink in for a minute.
That's like as far away as a 4th base on any other map. Anyways, does fly in here. Some nice harassment with the Phoenixes now. Getting a little bit of damage done. Oracle with some good tags as well.
And you can see the transition here for Deer after he does get that. Those Oracles, or rather the Phoenixes out with the Oracle support. He transitions into getting pretty much every other tech, robotics facility, Twilight Council, Forge coming down, after he gets that 3rd base, actually. So committing to that first. It's a very big map.
It looks like right now we have just like a Marine tank push maybe being set up. He's continually making tanks here, so how does Deer want to end up countering this build? A lot of the time people like to go Colossus against this because Marine Tank is just kind of weak against that, but does he have time to get into that right now? I don't know.
I'm not so sure. He hasn't used that Twilight Council for anything yet. He's just keeping it there.
Yeah. Just letting that Twilight chill.
Charge is going to be good, too. I mean, you could get Charge-lit Archon with some Immortals in there. You know, just that, yeah, there we go. Charge on the way. Especially with the +1 armor.
Yeah.
With the +1 armor, this is like a build from, you know, this used to be the standard where you just get armor and charge.
Yeah.
And your Zealots are super tanky.
Dude.
You let your Stalkers and Colossi do the damage.
Totally. And you know what? This is actually like, this is super old what we're watching. Like Wings of Liberty, maybe early Heart of the Swarm old, because he has Phoenix. Wow, these are actually dealing some significant damage. I'll talk about that in a second, but like quite a bit. The Phoenix is just sitting there. He could
just
be lifting these 7 probes. Ouch. Anyways,
yeah, go ahead.
So like Phoenix Oracle, like you can tag what's there and then chase it around with Charge Archon, and then it's like nowadays when people do. Strats have the same idea. It's like adepts with it, but this packs like a lot of punch if you can get into it. This is really cool to see. Like if you tag the Terran army, Charge Archon, like you can always be in a good position with it. It's quick enough.
For sure. And on a map this big where there's so much open space, as long as you're not fighting on one of these ramps, it's going to be pretty nice. Like if ByuN ever wants to move out and try to siege like outside the 3rd base, it's just, you know, not going to be much. And we do actually have a couple
of my god.
Medevacs were trying to be jumped on there by Deer, but he actually loses a bunch of his air units.
Yeah, that really sucks. He really needed those air units. He has like no anti-air drops right now, can crush him. I think he only has 1 Phoenix left now, right?
Let me check. He's got 2.
Oh, okay, 2. Well, 2 is still not enough to stop Medevacs.
He has 1 Observer, too, so he doesn't really even have that much vision.
He needs to actually engage this army ASAP.
Yeah.
And the army is coming towards his army, so I guess he might get that.
Yeah, I don't know why ByuN wouldn't just drop Drayton in the main right now.
Yeah, he killed
Like-
all those Phoenixes. It's like, come on.
I guess he can't drop everything. He doesn't have enough medevacs.
Could be a mind game as well. Like, he might be like, okay, well, obviously you're in your main because I killed your Phoenixes. Maybe I can hit your third. But no, he's waiting there for you.
Only now is Blink on the way after charge. And Storm going to be committed to as well. Deer just going to have to hold on here and try to defend. And ByuN isn't really doing much about it. It looks like he wants to group up with the rest of his bio and then go for an attack here.
Oh, great. Force fields go down. These Zealots getting such good surface area. As the rest comes up, he pulls back. Great engagement by Deer.
What was that? Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was an unbelievable play. Deer just totally outplaying him there. Just splits the army up in half. There's not enough medevacs. They were actually back with the tanks. And now there's no way that ByuN can fight this. He has to actually run.
He will way crush this from here. Look at that. He sets up a liberation zone, drops his siege tanks, forces him back for now, but
Deer is taking what you said to heart about the Liberator in that one cast where you're like, never, ever, ever fight into liberation zones. It's never going to go well. I feel like he could have won that fight, but he's still like, no.
He would have lost more than he should have, though. Like, why lose more than you should have when you can lose what you should?
That's true. That's why Deer's a better player than me, man. He just backs off. He's like, oh, now that I've beat you in that one engagement, I can take a fourth base.
Yeah.
And next time we fight, I'm going to have Storm and +3 armor. What are you going to do then?
Not very much is the answer. This army is so fearsome. I don't even know. Like, you need Ghosts and Widow Mines against this, I think. And he has neither. Like, Siege Tanks are about the last thing you need. The Liberators are good.
He's beginning to add in some Widow Mines. And, man, look at this map. I mean, this is just...
So wild.
Here we go, though. Deer is going to get in onto these Liberators, but his army is being split up, and the Storms are not that great.
The Liberator's starting to deal a lot of damage. You got to be careful about getting under them. Look at the damage they put out, and now the third base in a little bit of trouble. The rest of ByuN's army coming around from the other side and slowing down the army here of his opponent.
And here we go. Liberation zones coming down. Really nice Storms this time around. And he finally will clean it up, but he does pay for it with his third base. ByuN, though, losing a lot of units in the process.
ByuN does not have a third baser in all this, so even if he's dealing that damage, he's just kind of making it onto more equal footing. In fact, losing a lot of SCVs here. Ooh.
I didn't even realize he didn't have a third base. Like, I just assumed, and I didn't even look.
Yeah.
Like, he is more behind than I even thought he was. Like, he's really struggling now to even produce out of, you know, the production buildings that he has. He's making 4 Marines at a time. Now he's making 7, but not going to do too well against this army.
Yeah. Immortals, Archons, Charge, and Storm against just like some bio units. Luckily now he does have some Widow Mines in here, and those definitely can help out a lot. In fact, Widow Mines kind of like extincted players from going Charge Archon early on.
And here we go. Widow Mines are going to get off. He is going to commit to a Storm on the Widow Mines that don't completely kill them, but a second one will.
And, I mean, Deer just has such a better army right now. He has 4 bases now that he's remade that third base location, whereas ByuN is barely mining.
Yeah, I think Deer is almost assuming that ByuN has a third base, like up to the middle right there.
Yeah.
And he's saying like, oh, you probably got more stuff back there. I shouldn't over-engage. Like, I should be safe about this.
Deer is trying to really make sure he makes it out of this group.
Yeah, he wants this badly.
He's a safety Protoss right now.
I mean, look at this fight. There's so many Storms in here and no answer. And all these Zealots running forward now. Widow Mines are going to get off. Not the best hits, though.
Yeah. He is whittling some things down, but those Immortals are not going to die to this army right now.
Especially with the Archons morphing.
Yeah.
All he needs is like a Warp Prism with this, and he immediately makes that. And once he gets that and can actually reinforce, he should be fine.
Yeah, like, even if ByuN kills this army with the additional bases right now that Deer has, it's going to be hard for ByuN to actually finish the game off. So, gets up here and actually dealing a lot of damage. Deer may have actually overextended a little bit here.
Yeah, taking a decent fight, sniping out some of these Immortals, but the Archons, man, are just too much. GG. It's too much stuff there for Deer.
Wow. All right, very well done by Deer, and that was an away win. So
that it was. Very, very important for Deer moving forward in this group.
He's tied exactly with ByuN at this point.
Yeah, both of them are at 3-1 with 2 away wins.
That's right. Alive in the meantime, 4 wins, 2 of which are away wins. So he is still looking like the best. Jokshi's still looking like the worst. And
yeah,
Impact and Rogue are tied right now.
Yeah,
the Zerg players
for worse.
Yeah, they're tied
funny
for
the way
4th.
that works out. Both of the Zerg players not doing so well here.
Hurts.
Yeah,
hurts, man.
Yeah, hurt Zergs. But guys, we are going to go to a 10-minute break. We'll be right back.
There ain't nobody here who can cause me pain or raise my fear, 'cause I got only